Hi, back again. I'm not sure where I left off. Let's see. Oh, yeah. God was giving me some well intentioned and useful advice about how to do good and evil. I wasn't an evil doer. Yeah, okay. I know. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking everyone in prison says they're innocent, but I really am innocent. I didn't ask to be born. And what do you know when you have a baby body? You know nothing. You rely on two people and their network to survive. So you're forced to believe what you're told. After a while, you realize something's fishy and you start to resist out of principle, but you don't know why the situation stinks. To be fair, they don't know they're misleading you because they were misled too by their parents. And they have, honestly, over time, come to enjoy their life sentences in the world. Free food, place to stay, company of other like-minded souls. Anyway, back to the story of my prison escape. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I'd lost contact with God. So I had to wait for instructions. I had my Jesus poster, the one with him pointing to his bleeding heart, the one with one of his stigmatized hands. There was blood on the back of his hand. Although he was a bloody mess, he didn't seem to be much bothered. He had a peaceful look on his face and seemed more like a teacher pointing out some geometric logic for his master class in suffering. He seemed pretty cool. I asked the prison chaplain why he wasn't writhing in agony with all those wounds, and he said, because he was innocent like a lamb. In fact, he called himself the Lamb of God, which I didn't get because, innocent or not, torture is torture. It isn't fun. I guess what he was saying is that this is what you get when you're born on earth and your family, at least your father, is somewhere else. His mother was from earth, or so they say, but I just couldn't buy the story that she managed to give birth without intercourse. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that his crime was simply that he didn't have enough time to hone his narrative. The language was a bit imprecise. He loved his dad, no doubt, but he went around saying there was no difference between him as God, which isn't true. A son is a son, and a father is a father. One's the cause, and the other's the effect. What should he have said? He should have said, I love my dad, period, and left it at that. Then the Romans, Pontius Pilate, would have let him alone. Anyway, I digress. I was talking about his cool state of mind in very stressful circumstances. I guess he figured what was done is done, and there was no sense making a big story about it because it doesn't help. You're here and in pain, so make the best of it. Something like that. Maybe it was a lesson for me because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. It just wasn't right that I was convicted because of a legal mistake. So naturally, you're going to complain. To my credit, a lot of stress seeped out, and my mood changed once God showed up and started chatting. I was chill, as the youngsters in here say. He, meaning God, exuded confidence and was outlining a escape plan that seemed very reasonable. So I was all in. Well, what did I have to lose after all? Life is life. No parole for me. I'd have to fight it on the outside, collect evidence, get my day in court, and clear my name. There was a lot more to it than just getting out of here. So, I had my poster, good relationship with my captors who weren't suspicious anymore, and I had my spoon carefully concealed, you know where. I more or less figured out what the spoon was all about, but the wall was very thick, and there was no way I could flush all that cement down the toilet. So I was in limbo, waiting for further instructions. It wasn't limbo because limbo's temporary. It wasn't limbo for me, because I've been given a life sentence. In here, most of the prisoners are pretty cheerful. It's kind of a badge of honor to go to prison, like graduating from university. You come out knowing a lot more about your topic, in this case crime, than you did before. Your parents, who are criminals, and your grandparents, if they're still alive, they're proud of you. Maybe you'll make it big and look after them in their old age. Crime is a career that has its upside. You don't have to work regular hours like the suckers with regular jobs. And if you're reasonably competent, your needs will be met. A nice wad of cash in your pocket all the time, drugs and alcohol galore, and plus, there are lots of ladies with loose morals who are happy to help you spend it. Well, you know the drill. The TV's full of crime dramas portraying the upside of a life in crime. So, these guys group up and share scams, and they don't worry about food, clothing, and shelter, which the suckers in the prison of life do worry about all the time. It's got its downsides, prison life, but on balance, life could be worse. They say that in certain European countries, people commit crimes to get in prison because it's a pretty cushy setup. Clean sheets, decent food, a window looking out at nature, books, TV, the whole 9 yards. They're not so much into the punishment side and a bit more on rehabilitation, it seems. So, these are my thoughts sitting in my cell waiting for God's words. In fact, I'm waiting for God's words now, but the transmission just went off. Tune in next time, who knows when, for the next episode of How to Get Out of Prison.